Hello there, welcome to video number 188. This one is on bar charts and I've got some keywords for you. Composite or comparative, frequency and discrete data all sound quite complicated, but what we mean by composite is when two things are stuck together, alright, two or more, and comparative means when you're weighing one thing up against another. So composite or comparative bar charts are ones that are dual bar charts. You've got two bars where you've got a category that's been split into two branches. And I'll show you an example of that in question 3. The frequency is how much of something there is, and discrete data, which you'll learn a bit more about in the types of data section, but discrete data is numerical data that is whole numbers, not fractions or decimals. Okay, so to draw a bar chart you'll be given some discrete data to represent graphically. The categories go on the x-axis and they are labelled, and the numbers, the frequency, go on the y-axis and the scale is then written consistently. You must make sure you've got a consistent scale. You'll get often questions that ask you about the things that have gone wrong with the bar chart, and normally it's the consistency of the scale, the frequency axis, and maybe it's the bars that are stuck together because the bars have to be separate on bar charts. Maybe the person that did it hasn't labelled the bar chart particularly well. So they're the specific things that you need to look out for if you've got a question like that. So you might be asked to interpret a bar chart, and to do this you'll need to get the data out of the graphical form into numerical form. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Now the bar chart shows the average monthly temperature in Portsmouth over a year. Complete the bar chart. Unfortunately I haven't got a very nice neat way of doing this because if I zoom in it covers over the numbers, and yeah, it doesn't look particularly good. So I'm going to draw a horrible straight line up. Now these, you could get these as line charts as well, right, where you just draw a straight line up. This is exactly the same thing as a bar, right? There's just no width to it with a line, but these ones are bars, so we're going to use 13 degrees October, find 13 in between the 12 and the 14, and we'll draw a little bar there, and we'll try and draw it with a pencil and a ruler and as neatly as possible. Well, that's as neat as I could probably do it on the computer without a ruler. Then we've got November, 7 degrees, so we go 7 in between the 6 and the 8. That's not as neat, but never mind, and make sure you're following the same width and the same width between each bar as well. And then 4 degrees for December, and you'll just see there's a really simple question. Just finish it off. Shade the bars in if you want to. Don't spend forever doing it. Okay. Now in question 2, we've got a graph that shows the number of goals scored in a game by my football team this season. What is the modal number of goals scored? Now modal means the most common. Right, what's the most common number of goals that have been scored? So if you look through the bar chart, there's one that stands out above all the others. You can see this is the biggest bar by a way, and that's the 2 goals one. All right, that means that in 12 games my team scored 2 goals. Right, 12 times my team scored 2 goals in a season, so that's going to be the number 2. All right, what's the total number of goals scored? A little bit trickier, this question. So interpreting the data from the bar chart is what we have to do here. All right, we can see we've got the frequency up the side, the goals scored along the bottom, they're the categories, right? And we've got 0 goals scored in 7 games. So overall in 7 games, that means we've got nothing, no goals scored. Okay, 1 goal was scored in 8 games, so that is 8 goals for that bar. It's all right so far. Then we've got 2 goals scored in 12 games. So 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 12 times. That gives us 24 goals. 3 goals were scored in 3 games. So 3 games, 3 goals each. All right, that's going to be 9 goals in total there. And then in 6 games, we scored 4 goals. All right, so 6 times we got 4 goals. That's going to give us 24 again. If we add all of that up, we get 24, 48, add the 8 is 56, and then that's going to be 65. So 65 goals in total. Okay, tricky, but be careful, think about it carefully, and you should be okay with that. Then we've got in part 3 to draw a composite bar chart for the data below. Okay, now if we're going to do it all properly, we're going to use rulers and pencils, right? Something I haven't got the luxury of on here, unfortunately. So I'm going to draw some wobbly bars, but they shouldn't be wobbly bars. I'm going to do as best as I can. Right, Now, we need a scale. We need to label the axes. This is going to be our frequency. So we'll write down frequency. First of all, this is our frequency scale. This is our the years. So we've got some data here, something about years 7, 8 and 9 students that have been split into boys and girls. And we're going to need to draw 2 bars for each year group. So if that's our year 7, all right, we've got 2 bars which can be stuck together because they are from the same year group, but representing boys and girls. This is a dual bar chart or a composite or comparative bar chart. Then we've got year 8, which we need to leave a space for. And then we've got year 9, which we need to leave a space for, which we can squeeze in on the end there. Okay. Then we've got 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then we could give the graph a title. It depends what the question is. It could be about the number of boys and girls from particular year groups in a school play or something like that. Right? Don't know what the context is. I'm not going to give it a title, but if it did have a title, you might have to do that. Don't think I've ever seen a question where they've asked you about the title. But if we were teaching it in the class, we'd say give your graph a title so we know what it's all about. Right? Now, I'm going to draw some bars. Year 7, boys, 6. So go up to 6. Here's my bar for the boys with a ruler and a pencil, not just wobbly. All right, and then you might want to just shade that in a particular direction. Okay, and then the girls is 7. All right, and what we're going to do with that is maybe just leave that one blank. All right, that can represent our girls, because what we're going to need to do is have a key that represents boys and girls. So if we say that that is boys and that is girls, we do need to show this. So we've got some reference then to do the comparison. If we were using this to do comparisons on the graph. 4 and 5, so 4 is there for the boys. Make sure you use the same shading for the boys bar and then leave the girls one blank. Alright, and then for year 9 we're going to go with 3 and 2. So there we go, that's it. As simple as that really. It's just drawing a bar chart, but you've got a dual bar chart there, or comparative composite bar chart, whatever you want to call it. Alright, that's it for that video. I hope that covers most things. Like I said, the only thing I haven't covered there is when you have to figure out what's wrong with them, but like I said, it's to do with the scale. Look out for inconsistent scale. Look out for mislabeling of things, and look out for the bars being stuck together when they shouldn't be. Alright? Remember those things, you'll be fine. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.